Hello and welcome to all the Autobots and Decepticons out there. I'm Joe, here with me is my co-host Dan.
Hello and greetings.
And today we're continuing our Transformers podcast, because why not? And we're going to try to clear up as much of the rest of the Sharkticon world as possible. First scene to discuss. The introduction of, I believe, Kronix, after he's not been seen since the prologue. He is the guy we saw in that lab at the start of the film, and he informs Cup and Hot Rod that they are on the world of the Sharkticons. He is apparently the last of his kind, and he pronounces the word cruel as cruel. So there's a slight interesting accent there. And their newfound friend introduces them to the name of Unicron. And I'll actually voice that I'm very ashamed of Cup for being so dumb as not to know who or what Unicron is. It's just, Transformers Autobot legend and Decepticon legend going back millions of years that you should know about. Come on, he slew Primus, the god of Cybertron. And the planet Cybertron used to be the actual body of Primus. I just figure Unicron's such important lore, especially in this film, shouldn't Cup know. But on the other hand, the heroes find out for the first time what they're up against. That aside, their hosts, so to speak, take away the other prisoner. Hot Rod tries to play hero, gets electrocuted for his troubles, and they witness the cruel execution of a complete and total innocent, which seems to be par for the course on this planet. The trouble for the other team, because we have to switch over to them, is that they're, after several hours of trying to repair their ship, suddenly attacked by Galvatron. Galvatron, meanwhile, went from, in another scene before this one, complaining, "Why did you torment me, Unicron? I did my job." No, you didn't. You didn't finish the job. Go out there and do it right. At which point you could almost feel Galvatron just wondering, wait. You stopped me from hunting them down, tormented me, brought me here several days out of, or hours out of my way to whine at me, and then sending me back out there. Talk about upper management, right?
Yeah, you certainly fail upwards.
Yeah, especially with Unicron. It's like, dude.
Let him do the job. All you had to do was tell him.
See, this is the problem with micromanagement. I'm just saying. But Galvatron is sent back out there. Ends up quickly chasing around with his flunkies the Autobots who take refuge. And not Galvatron. Ultra Magnus tells them that he'll try to unleash the power of the Matrix on Galvatron and his crew to destroy them. On the one hand, he's dabbling with powers he doesn't understand. On the other hand, you have here the first time you really see the Autobots using Optimus Prime's last words as a battle cry. Until all are one. Which, okay. Which, this is an important moment in the history of the franchise and whatnot. Galvatron demands the Matrix only for Ultra Magnus to tell him to stuff it. That doesn't go over very well. And Ultra Magnus is ultimately shot and torn apart. Because why not? But apparently they didn't actually destroy him. Which is kind of funny. And how does that work? I mean, if you tore him limb from limb, shouldn't that do him in? How could he survive that?
A question that fans have wondered.
Probably since the 80s.
Yes.
Because, no offense, but if this was earlier in the film, this might have been the end of him. And yet, I don't think it would have been wise to destroy him, because you just introduced the character. You can't just get rid of him. Not unless he was introduced earlier in the cartoon, but he wasn't. On the other hand, Oh no, wait. I was gonna say in Beast Wars, the character would not have survived this, but actually in Beast Wars, some characters have even more plot armor, and it's just like you look at Silverbolt. That guy has, and even Black Arachnia. Those two have some serious plot armor. So, okay, I don't know what to make of the limb from limb scene.
We can't say like Waspinator.
No, you can't make that comparison exactly because this is a much more serious depiction. And actually, I would not like it if there was a Waspinator joke in this film.
I agree.
It'd be in bad taste because it's not funny because this is a very serious movie. And this is the Transformers equivalent of an opera. So you don't want it to be... Like, you don't need that kind of comedy, really, in Transformers 1986. Of course, Ultra Magnus ends up not being the last person to think of using the Matrix. Galvatron pronounces, "Now Unicron will be my slave." And Unicron responds with a great deal of displeasure, we'll say. Clearly not happy about Galvatron scheming to betray him. But this is where I'll actually say this. It's in the nature of the Megatrons to betray just about everyone that they meet. In a lot of ways, Starscream has become a trope namer for the idea of a character who constantly backstabs. But arguably, the Megatrons tend to backstab a lot more than Starscream ever did. And when I say the Megatrons, I also mean the one from Beast Wars. That Megatron stupidly betrayed everyone he met, even when he didn't profit. When if he had remained loyal at times, he would profit more from it. But anyways, enough about the Megatrons. We now move back to the Sharkticon world. It's in the trial scene for Cup and Hot Rod that we see that Cup's actually a pretty good fighter. Because after they do a demolition derby within the pit, because of course they're sentenced, and they escape from the pit of Sharkticon, Cup tears off the tail of one Sharkticon and uses it as a battle mace. To devastating effect. While Hot Rod does, of course, well, because he's the main hero. But ultimately, the heroes are struggling because the Sharkticons have the advantage of numbers. Of course, it's at this point that the Dinobots show up and kind of tear down the door, with Hot Rod commenting on how he's so very happy to see these bozos. Grimlock pronounces himself a king, and certainly acts like it. And when the enemy declares execute them, the Sharkticons kind of look at each other a little unsure of whether they really want to fight Grimlock as he's shown, and the other Dinobots, because there's the whole prey and predator pyramid of sorts. Clearly the Dinobots are higher on the predator pyramid. That said, Grimlock says, "Don't execute me, execute him." At which point the Sharkticons decide, why not? Like, they don't say it, but you could see from their expressions, they're like, it'll probably be easier dealing with our own bosses than these guys, who are putting up way too much of a fight. They might be able to overcome the Dinobots, but at what cost? And what would be the point? Well, they could just take out their own bosses and just chow down on them. I fully support this logic. With the help of Wheelie and the Dinobots, Hot Rod and Cup escape from the planet, go to the trash world, where they come to the rescue of their friends who have been suddenly assailed by space pirates. And with the power of the universal greeting, which is supposed to never fail, especially unless, of course, Cup uses it, they end up befriending the pirates, who reveal that they're TV nerds, which is pretty funny. And the pirates then put together Ultra Magnus and decide to join them in their battle. But the trouble is, there is just one piece of bad news that Ultra Magnus has for them. Galvatron now has the Matrix of leadership, which is very bad news. And no offense, this is the sort of scene where you could have used maybe Bob from Reboot saying, "This is bad, very, very bad." Because honestly, if they were smart, the Decepticons would destroy it. And for all the Autobots know, it might be destroyed already. And there would go their last chance. But Destiny has a way of working around evil, so to speak. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like and that subscribe button as though you were Hot Rod taking down Cup.